What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your host, Exotic Tonic, along with your second host, Mulzak Gaming.
What's up, guys? And
And
now
our,
we also have our guest host for today, our guest, Mason. Um, Say hi to the people, Mason.
What's up, guys? Mason the Gamer, Darwin Project, and here I am.
hey, what's up, Mason? And today we're going to be talking about the latest Xbox Series X game reveals. It's the video on YouTube. They streamed it a couple of days ago, and I'm just really excited to talk about what games that are in store for us in terms of the Xbox. And I don't even play Xbox, but I'm super hyped anyway.
Yeah, and some of these games are actually coming over to the PlayStation. Not all of them were specific Xbox, because, it was just a third-party reveal, so it's not Xbox exclusives all the way.
Correct.
Oh, cool. I know that.
That's why Halo and games like that were not advertised.
Yeah, they'll be in July.
So-
Because the one that comes to mind is Dirt 5. That I know that one's going to be on both. And then, they showed Madden and stuff like that.
Right. So I think we should just start from the top with the first game that was introduced in this trailer. I believe that was the game something Infinite.
Bright Memory Infinite.
Bright Memory Infinite.
Mm-hmm. Well, I want to say that
Bright
my first
Infinite.
thoughts were whenever it dropped,
so
I was
hyped
like,
for this
"Oh,
game.
we're getting another Titanfall." I was hyped.
I
I saw the weather, and I was like, "Man, that graphics, like this is looking great for a Titanfall game." And then they hit us with like grappling hooks, wall running, all of this stuff. And then when he called in that car, I was like, I thought a Titan was gonna fall.
Same. Very, very reminiscent of Titanfall. I still have Titanfall 2 up on my shelf. I was a huge fan of that game. The wall running, the grapple mechanics were so much fun. Another thing I thought was really interesting when I was looking at that trailer was the gun and melee, kind of the combinations for it. There was also a weird little time freeze segment when he lifted up the bad guy with the hook, the giant knight, lifted him up with the grappling hook, hit him with the sword, and then he kind of froze in the air. Then he sliced him in half.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Mulzak and Mason, am I the only one that gets kind of Sekiro Shadows Die Twice mixed with Doom Eternal vibes from that game? Because
That
the graphics, yeah, Sekiro and Doom.
See,
I
I
have
could
not
see the
played
Doom.
Sekiro.
I definitely could see the Doom, but I didn't play Sekiro, so I can't say anything about that.
Same. I didn't play either of them, but I have seen a decent amount of Doom Eternal. So yeah, you're right. A lot of the melee is very reminiscent of the way the new Doom Eternal worked.
But I don't know if you guys knew this. It actually is just a I don't want to say remaster because I don't know the full specifics. I don't own the game, but on Steam there's Bright Memory, and if you buy it, you get Bright Memory Infinite free. So from what I've gathered, I think Bright Memory Infinite is just a remaster of this game already. And if you look at the difference, like this game was released in 2020 on Steam, but even if you look at the difference, that remaster, like it is like the graphics, man, it is such a change.
Remastered versions of games always are just so much fun to play because I'm all one for gameplay. Like I feel like there's a lot of games where you could just turn everything to boxes and circles, and I would still play the game. But remastered versions, like The Last of Us remastered, that game was so much fun. I normally hate zombie games. Personal fear of mine, I hate zombies a ton. But playing The Last of Us just really got me into that type of game.
Yeah, I played through the remaster a little bit, and then I didn't have a 4K TV to go with it, so I was just kind of I migrated on. But I've played The Last of Us, I want to say like 12 times.
12. Oh.
You have to remember it came out back when I was like 16 and I had no time, so I was like, okay. I played that game straight. I love it so much.
Well, the next game they showed was
Dirt.
While this does say a gameplay trailer, several of these, if I just scroll down to the comments, everything is about just there's no gameplay.
Yeah.
For 5,
It's all trailers, man.
For 5,
I mean-
it's literally not even like a hint of like, oh, maybe the UI is just turned off for this. It's just a long cutscene.
And there's no. I tried to find something eye-catching about it, and it's just there was nothing that caught my eye.
It's a racing game. It's Trackmania with ray tracing.
And I'm sorry, it's not Forza. It's not even beautiful. It's not even pretty. It looks like it should have been on the Xbox 360.
Really?
Honestly, that's my opinion. I don't think it looks good at all.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you there.
Especially when they had when the car was revving up and the dirt was spitting at the camera. I thought
the mud. They had physics and animations for all the mud.
Yeah.
I thought that was really good.
So that's honestly
they also in the interview for Dirt 5, this is probably the biggest thing about the game, is that they have acquired 2 voice actors that are known tremendously throughout the gaming community. You know, you got Troy Baker, who is, Joel from The Last of Us, and then you have Nolan North, who is Drake from Uncharted, and they have both of those voice actors in this racing game. I don't know how to feel about that.
Uncharted has got to be one of my favorite series. I have all four of the Drake games.
And I'm about to restart them.
Yeah, I've beaten them all multiple times. So much fun.
Honestly, Mason, Uncharted, that was straight up my childhood. Uncharted 1, 2, 3. I actually got started on the third one first. And I was like, oh my God, Drake is amazing. You know?
I had this little mini rivalry with my friend because he preferred the the Tomb Raider series over Uncharted, and I just
I love the concept of Tomb Raider. I do. I really do. I just have never enjoyed it. I've never liked playing it.
Play Tomb Raider a bit because I'm all for combat in games. Like the combat systems are always something that I pay a ton of attention to. God of War, Tomb Raider, I think had better combat than Uncharted did. But Uncharted just had better storytelling, puzzles, climbing, all of that.
Very much, very much. And if no one else has any more ideas on Dirt, I don't want to waste any more time on it.
On a cutscene.
It's just it's a racing game. It's like
it's a racing game. But the thing is, it's not Forza, and that's what you have to remember. When they show Forza, that game is it's not going to be talked about. I'm sorry.
I don't know Forza.
Also, I mean, they released a racing game. They need a racing game.
You see, trust me, you see Forza's graphics, especially what they're going to be able to do on the next consoles. Forza is going to blow everything out of the water because all they do is focus on graphics. That's like their primary objective with those games.
I cannot wait. Next, we got another cutscene, but horror game.
It was a little more interesting though.
That was quite interesting. Anyway, hasn't seen it. The next game up is Scorn, and can't really glean a whole lot of information from the trailer other than it's going to be a very alien-based game.
And let's say this: Xbox Game Pass day 1. So since we have no idea what the game is about, if we come and it comes out and we still know nothing about it, we can try it for free with Xbox Game Pass. So there's that.
I think that's probably that's why they're doing that. It's because it's a horror game.
Literally, the only thoughts that I was able to write down about it was it's a very ominous atmosphere because it really is. It's curious to say the least. It's
very
dark.
Creepy.
It's weird as hell. It was very weird.
That little scene, I don't get that one scene where a little almost like alien thing comes out.
You can say it looked like an alien penis.
No, I was talking about like the movie Alien. It looked like that parasite.
Oh, okay.
Coming out.
Yeah.
And then
I was talking about that freaking thing that was dripping. It was so weird.
Yeah, it was just it came out and then it went back in. Nothing happened. It was like nothing correlated to it. Just came out, dripped out some white stuff,
Yeah,
and went back in.
that's
This
all
is
it did.
not very good out of
all it did.
context. Okay, this is
We already mentioned Pete. I'm watching the trailer right now. That's all it did. And then you got this laying there. It's got the big red kind of ball in the middle. Got eyes that look like it's on the back of its head.
What did catch my interest is the ending when like the like Demogorgon face popped out. That was pretty interesting.
Demogorgon.
It's Stranger Things.
But yeah, I love Stranger Things,
Ooh.
but I really
It
get
looked. It
Demogorgon.
did.
I think there's this. I think just like gameplay wise, since there's no gameplay
No,
whatsoever.
there's not. I mean, there's not for really anything. There's a few games that had gameplay, but it's mainly trailers.
Even that was literally just there's no gameplay. They're just
Like
delete game.
okay, the next one actually did have a little bit of gameplay in its trailer. What did you guys think about Corvs? Rises 1?
Cores looked pretty good. It did say that it was coming out in 2021.
Oh, did it? I didn't catch that.
So right at the start, right at the end of it, it has the whole title sequence, and then it says 2021. Cores Rises 1 2021.
Wow. Oh.
To 8:33.
Announcing it now and then releasing it then might hurt them.
Yeah. Well, it might not, because I mean that just makes a lot of suspense.
If Microsoft can nail it as an Xbox Game Pass day one game, which it looks like it should be, in my opinion, then I feel like the game will do well.
And only the really gameplay they showed in this was...
It would be better if they released it in 2021, after this whole coronavirus situation to settle down, because all the physical copies, no one's going to buy copies of games right now, and so
they're not even able to really manufacture them at all.
Well, I think
physical copies are all but dead, dude.
They are able to do that. They just can't put it on the shelves for obvious reasons.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if they released it later rather than this year, it will be better overall in sales.
Maybe. I mean, only time will tell on that one. I mean, it looked interesting. I wanted to throw out an honorable mention to the game because it did. It looked really interesting. We don't have a lot of ship fighting games, stuff like that.
One thing I wanted to talk about was what do you think? Like, just based off the trailers, what do you speculate the gameplay is going to be like? Just flying around shooting things.
This is one game. It's like, gosh, like a space exploration game where flying the spaceship and you go to planets is like, it's on the tip of my tongue, bro.
A lot of games.
Something it could be like. Xotic, you think on the game you're thinking about, but something it could be like. I don't know if you guys have seen Kingdom Hearts, but I mean Kingdom Hearts 3, it does have a very open ship fighting kind of thing to it. It's when you're going between worlds, it could be something like that, but I don't know. It's either going to be open world or it's going to be linear. We didn't get enough from the trailer to know.
I feel like the only way you could make a linear kind of ship game without just making walls everywhere and defeating the whole purpose of space is, have either of you played Black Ops Infinity War? No, not Infinity War. What was it? Infinite something, I believe. What was that one Black Ops?
Infinite Warfare? You talking about Call of Duty? Infinite Warfare?
Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. I played the campaign for that, and that's the only kind of linear style ship fighting campaign I can think of.
Yeah. I remember what you're talking about. That's actually one of my favorite Call of Duty campaigns. It was really good.
Definitely.
It was so well made.
The campaign was, the graphics were just changed all though.
Remember that the game I was thinking of, No Man's Sky.
Oh, No Man's Sky. Maybe a third person kind of thing version.
There weren't any.
I like to classify No Man's Sky in its kind of own category, though. I don't really see it relating too much to that.
I haven't played the game, but I do remember they had this sort of ship fighting.
Oh yeah,
part of
they
the
do.
game
They do.
titles.
But the game also, since you've seen it, it's been over the years, it's been
There's a lot
reworked.
more.
It's a different game now. It's a completely different game than when it launched.
Much more to it. That ship fighting is just a small portion of the game.
Yeah.
But next game we have is Madden.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say, yeah, Madden. Okay, now we're talking about Vampire.
So Madden, the trailer, you didn't even show anything from Madden. Like, you could barely call that a Madden cutscene. It showed a progression of Madden games, and then maybe 2 seconds of
Mason, that's all they can do. It's Madden. They add a few extra pixels, and they release the game, and it sells. That's the formula.
Yeah. I mean, they put the name on it. It sells. I mean, that's all they got to do. All I could write down for that reveal was, "Hey, I expected it to be at the EA conference. I didn't expect it to be here." But that's all I was able to really write down as a point.
One point I wrote down it was about everything in general. Was that at the start they said that everything was, it was like run, all the graphics and everything were run on the console, but they didn't actually say that. And at the start of every trailer, you'll see at the bottom is a little kind of a small text, small print note that every game is just a representative of expected gameplay. It's run on the engine, but the console still in development, is what it says.
Yeah.
On the start of one of these trailers.
Yep.
All right. Move on to the more
Vampire the Masquerade. You go ahead, Xotic. Say what you want to say.
Dude, this game, it gives me like you said, Mulzak, in your notes, it gives you We Happy Few vibes.
Mm-hmm.
It really does. And
it makes me really think about the We Happy Few, and I loved that game, what I did play of it. I love the whole atmosphere that they bring. How everything is so serious. Like, honestly, okay, your character gets turned into a vampire, and then at the end he's still snapping his fingers to the music. Oh man.
The music kept me watching. It was that beginning scene is so creepy. Oh my goodness.
Hey Mason.
Everything pulled back.
Hey Mason, did the music remind you at all of Call of Duty Black Ops 3 Zombies, where it had that kind of swing?
Yes.
That swing music.
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
But I think the thing that drew, the whole thing really, it's probably my favorite thing from the whole show, honestly. But when it opened with people, dead human bodies stringed up like puppets.
Yes.
Oh man.
Oh, those faces. I have the video paused on one of those faces right now, and it's just, I need to unpause it. It's so creepy. It's terrifying.
I cannot wait to get this in my hands. I cannot
almost
wait.
Simplistic compared to the other ones,
but Xotic, it sounded like you were trying to say something.
Nothing's happening. That's how you know it's going to be an interesting game, other than some other certain games.
Oh, Xotic, you're cutting out, buddy.
Yes, he is.
Cold. That's all we're going to say?
Oh, we'll just go on to the next one, unless you got something to say, Mason.
No, not really. I mean, it was really just people dancing the whole time.
What about The Ascent?
Just skipped right over Call of the Sea, dude. I really wanted to talk about Call of the Sea.
I didn't even write notes about it. Go for it. I didn't really see much to write, so you go for it. It just didn't seem like a game for me.
Yeah, honestly,
I mean, it's definitely got its own audience. I love the art style. The art style was really cool to look at. Just kind of that world reminded me of Slime Rancher a bit. just the open world aspect of it, but it also looks kind of like a mystery puzzle game. What really struck me so much different than any of the other games on here.
Yes, definitely.
And then, all right, that's pretty much it.
1 second, guys.
All right, is that all we're gonna say for the accent?
Okay, Exotic, you're good again.
All right. Sorry about that.
I'm so happy that your mic's good again. Okay. What was it? The Ascent next?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The Ascent is all I really want to say before you guys go for it is it looks like the game from the PS3 days. I don't know if you remember Dead Nation. And I love these type of games. We need more like them. Third person, sky view, bird view, whatever you want to call it, just shooters. It looks to be a little steampunkish, I think.
Like a futuristic.
I was thinking
steampunk,
cyberpunk.
yeah. Not so much
steampunk,
just futuristic punk.
Yeah, definitely.
We got mohawks.
Anything else you guys saw in there?
Some of the enemies looked like they were straight out of Doom.
Honestly.
Yeah, a little bit.
And then it really caught me off guard, the fact that, like, with the whole trailer, I was getting really hyped, like, the start of it, I was getting really hyped up for, like, a really awesome, just seeing all that stuff in first person. And then it hit me with the, like you said, like, sky view thing. 2 joysticks and 2 as controls, just kind of.
I think I'm just going to say, I think I also skipped over another game. What was the next one? Because I have the next one as Scarlet Nexus.
The Medium. How did you skip over the Medium, dude? That game looked awesome.
Honestly,
Supposed to be
I think it's just because it didn't give us a lot. The concept looked nice. It did. It didn't grasp me, I guess. I didn't really know what to write about it.
Yeah, so
dude,
basically, Medium is going to be. I watched the whole thing. That guy at the end was talking about is a psychological horror game, and the concept of it basically is this mother who lost her baby, and I'm assuming it shows her praying in a church, and then she leaves the church after getting a weird vision, and everything around her starts crumbling and turning red. And it looks almost like she's getting flashbacks to the room in the ultrasound room, and so I think it's really just going to be a horror game centered around her shifting through realities and just struggling. Shows her holding a knife in her hands.
Maybe Mason.
And I mean, one kind of weird thing is that she's holding by the handle and her hands start bleeding.
Yeah.
Maybe Mason. She had a miscarriage, and it's like she's going through all this.
Oh yeah, that's
psychological
very
pain, and that's why her atmosphere is changing. All that
very
maybe
positive.
That has something to do with it.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys brought this stuff up because I really didn't. I didn't get much out of it, even though it looked interesting and everything. I'm glad you guys brought that up because now that I kind of get it more, it does. It looks like a really interesting game. We just need to see more from it.
Yeah, and the soundtrack too. The soundtrack.
Oh yeah. Was that the game that was the soundtrack is made by the person from Silent Hills?
Yeah.
Yes, they worked with Silent Hill a lot. That's why. That's another thing. I was like, "Ooh, this is probably good." I
was like, "Damn, this soundtrack! Like, whoa!"
Yeah, and he's one of the best. He's one of the best.
Second, I won't say second, but he's up there with like the Doom composer.
Well, see, one of my favorite composers is the Last of Us composer. Honestly, the soundtrack to that game was phenomenal and perfect.
Worked so well with everything that was going on. I loved the sound for that.
I feel like sound design in games is generally like underrated.
Yeah, overlooked.
Definitely.
100% overlooked.
It's just a lot of people when they talk about games overlook sound.
And it's unfortunate. It really is, because it's what makes a game. It is.
Like God of War. Soundtrack was amazing.
God of War. We could talk about soundtracks all day, but let's talk about the new game from Bandai Namco, however you say there.
I try to.
Scarlet Nexus.
Dude,
What were you
plants.
before it said anything, before it showed anime, Mason, Xotic, what did you think the game was going to be before you saw anime?
I was just like,
Namco. I was not expecting anime. I mean, I was really expecting kind of another horror type game, honestly.
I was expecting a Dead by Daylight, a Prey, something of the hunting category. You have the hunter and you have the survivors.
I mean,
not what we got. It's basically what we were expecting.
No.
Okay, you had all these sort of comparisons to it. I was just focused on the fact that there were plants, roses, like a bouquet of flowers that were monsters, and I was like, what? How do you come up with that?
Yeah. And then it shows boom anime, and you understand all of it. That's how it works. It looks very interesting though. The characters, I'm hoping we get to see more like classes maybe instead of showing that one character, because it's supposed to be psionic powers. I don't know if you guys saw the little clip of him taking the train and smashing it.
Excuse me?
But yeah, there was a small little section. It was like 2 seconds long. He literally used his powers to take the train and smash it into enemies.
He picks up cars. He can fling his swords around. I think the combat's going to be like the way the combat environment looked reminded me a lot of Tekken. Just just the way kind of everything moved around and interacted. But also, again, God of War vibes. Like the way the things were thrown around, just the way it looked like you had different moves that could combo really well with each other, and cutscenes for all kinds of executions and big boss fights. That's the thing I love in games like these big story games, or where it's just you and this big ass boss.
Big, yeah. And it showed one of those at the end of the trailer. It showed one of those big bosses.
Again, I was like so perturbed, I guess. It was like a rose plants. I don't even know what the lore behind that is.
Honestly. I can't wait to see.
Okay, one issue I did have with it, it's like really tiny issue, is the voice acting for the character they chose. He was like, my name is so and so and so and so, and I have psionic powers. I'm like, dude, if you have
typically
psionic
how
powers,
anime goes, though.
No, not all anime. Like, if you know Attack on Titan,
I get you in Attack.
You know that shit gets serious. You can feel the terror in their voices
but
sometimes.
It takes the certain producer to find that, and they have these visions. Usually when it comes to that kind of stuff, especially in anime video games, they don't really care how the English voice actor sounds.
Yeah.
Damn shame.
But let's talk about killing dinosaurs.
All I wrote down my notes, I wrote 3 words: tons of dinosaurs.
Exotic, what are you thinking?
If you guys remember Ark Evolved.
I was just about to say, it reminds me of Rust and Ark combined.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's good comparison or a good analogy there. All I could really think was, okay, we're killing dinosaurs, but is this open world? Like, can we go around the whole world like Ark is? Like, it's just like kind of open, or is it like Call of Duty Ghosts Extinction? Like, is it a set level? You have these tasks, and get through it, don't die.
That's a good question.
Well, you can combine those. Like, have you ever played what was it? Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah, I finished that recently. I love it. I love it so much.
It was so much fun. I believe I platinumed it. The way it, like, you had these set objectives, but you could still go anywhere. Like, you could still do whatever. You just couldn't. You just had to progress before you could start like really getting the like good dialogue and stuff.
Yeah. The biggest thing, I'm probably gonna like play the hell out of this game, but what I want to see is those big fights with like T-Rexes and stuff like that. That's really the biggest thing. They have to nail that, especially the ferocious and ness of a T-Rex. They have to nail all of that.
Yep.
Like if I hit a certain part of a T-Rex, I want to hear the T-Rex scream in pain or anger. You know.
That was really weird.
Any other thoughts there?
No, I think up next we got a really big game. Awesome.
Real big deal.
Ooh, big deal. Yakuza.
Like a dragon.
Yeah,
it's Yakuza Like a Dragon.
I knew it was something to do with dragon. I just hyped it up and then forgot the name of it.
Okay.
You were saying Xotic?
Why is this such a big deal? Because
you don't even know.
Do you watch the trailer?
Looks like
it's Yakuza is a big deal, especially in the Xbox market, because it's just one of those games that people have stuck with for a long time, and the story is so developed that it's just been around for a long time, man.
I've never played Yakuza. This is like the first I've ever like seen Yakuza. I watched the trailer and I was like, wow, I would definitely buy this game.
Yeah, they are. I would recommend looking into their other games. I really would. They're really good games, especially if you have an Xbox. I believe one or two of them are on Game Pass.
I do not have an Xbox. I'm a PlayStation person.
I try to keep with everything, but since no one has really any, unless you have some thoughts about the trailer.
Yeah, like I said, it looks like
gameplay.
Street Fighter.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. Yeah,
very Street Fighter-esque, but I feel like the gameplay is not going to be almost anything like Street Fighter.
No, it's more of one of those open world GTA type. I'm not saying that I would compare it to like GTA, but like maybe like Sleeping Dogs. If you've seen Sleeping Dogs, that's an old game, like PS3.
No, I've not. Never heard of it.
It's basically Asian GTA is Sleeping Dogs. Basically like these clans are going against each other, stuff like that. But I guess we could go to the big thing of the night.
Big boy.
Even though there wasn't much to really. It was a good reveal. I felt it was a little underwhelming.
We're talking about Assassin's Creed, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I enjoyed everything that they showed. I really do, and I don't mean anything against them when I say underwhelming as a reveal trailer. I felt like we were supposed to see more.
Again, just no gameplay.
I was really expecting to see some in-game footage, and we just saw
cinematics.
Trailers, cinematics. I will say that I love the idea of the Vikings. I love knowing that they took the time. If you watched the interview after all of it was over, I love that they took the time to make sure that the abilities were going to be brutal, like Vikings in those times would have had. Like they're trying to cater it more towards the Viking finishers that they would. Yeah. And you guys go ahead and say whatever you want about that.
I didn't play Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed.
I haven't played it in a long time. I haven't played Assassin's Creed since Assassin's Creed. I don't even know, Revelations.
Only Assassin's Creed I played. Actually, no, I'm pretty sure I still have it. So was just the free one. It was Assassin's Creed Freedom Cry, which is literally they had a DLC for Black Flag. They took it and made it into like a small game, just a small game of Assassin's Creed. That's pretty fun. It just feels a lot more grindy than it should be.
I will say that this has my interest a lot, and I have actually been thinking about picking up Assassin's Creed Origins because of the ratings that the recent Assassin's Creeds have gotten. They died down around Revelations, which is like 10 years ago, something like that. But around Origins, when Origins released, like they've been popping on those reviews. Like people love them again.
Origins looked really, really cool. I love the Egyptian, like everything was Egyptian.
And I will say Odyssey doesn't look like it's for me, even though it has good reviews, but I really think I'm going to pick up Origins and probably Valhalla.
Aesthetic was really nice. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yes. You have any final thoughts on the Assassin's Creed Exotic?
No, not really. Other than I hope it doesn't disappoint.
Definitely, yeah.
Like the last game.
They have a lot to accomplish.
Shoes to fill.
What
we're expecting a lot from.
What are your guys like speculations on the console itself? Because I looked up before I found this trailer. I looked up about the reveal, and there was all kinds. I read these two articles. It said it was like boasting it had 8K resolution and ray tracing and all that. Like ray tracing, yes, ray tracing looks amazing. But if you ever like looked at the difference between like not only would you have to have a 8K TV, but the difference between 8K and 4K is like 8K is just minuscule. It's minuscule. Yeah,
the human eyes can literally barely see past 4K. There's no reason.
Barely see past it. So it's just
there's no reason.
The thing is, after when the PS1 came out and 3D was first introduced to the world, people were going crazy like 3D, oh my god, I can play Mortal Kombat in 3D now,
Yeah.
And then it goes to PS2 and the graphics go from just 3D to like special, like even more technologically advanced, and people went crazy over that because it was such a big change and so on and so forth. But
I think that's probably gonna happen with this too.
Yeah, but now it's the point where we've sort of reached.
I see what you mean.
Pinnacle, is that the right word? Like the peak of how it can go in terms of graphics, and people are like,
that means that now they have to stop focusing on graphics because we don't really need much of an improvement anymore from where we're at. And they need to focus on, okay, what is the next step of gaming as a whole?
I think that I feel like consoles kind of like catching up almost. Like PCs had ray tracing and all that for a while, and like 8K graphics that like everybody was like, that sucks. So I feel like consoles are just they've been catching up to PC and they finally caught up, and the only reason they've caught up is because there's nowhere else to go. Like once we've hit the peak of all this, like the most you can do is just focus on the actual games themselves. Like graphics will become second. Like graphics are like we were talking about I believe Forza, how they only focused on graphics. Like after this, what are they gonna do? Like they'll just be another racing game.
Yeah, basically.
Talking about Forza, we're talking about dirt.
Forza does have a atmosphere and environment that they build on. So I mean, I don't have any fear that Forza will be able to pull it off, but other racing games they might struggle.
I'm not gonna say.
What Exotic?
Racing games, they're just to me.
They're not for everybody. I don't really play them either. I check them out when they come to Game Pass. That's about it.
I played some racing games. I have a friend. Oh my god, I have this friend of mine who's super into racing games and like 2D fighter, like Street Fighter type games. Like he plays all of those. All he does is play racing games and like DC Universe or whatever.
See, I dabbled in the DC Universe at one point, and it was a really good game.
It was good. I went over to his house and we played it for a while. and he absolutely just destroyed me because that's all he plays. But yeah, he's really good. Like, the only game that he's not super good at driving, ironically, is GTA. It's the only game I'm better at driving than that.
Can you even like? How do you train in GTA? It's like it's so hard to stay in a lane.
It is.
in
It's
GTA.
pretty bad trying to
But at
race
least
in there.
they focus more on the
GTA,
fun.
I've done pretty well in GTA racing. You just have to have a really good understanding of the mechanics and how the drift and everything's going to work.
Yeah.
Helicopter battles in GTA. Oh, those were the best. You actually do more damage. If you and another person both have a helicopter in GTA and you don't have any weapons on them, you can collide them in a way. And if you hit the top of their propellers with your propeller sideways, knock their helicopter out of the sky. So I would do that with my friends that have helicopter battles. I got really good at helicopter piloting in GTA. I'd get above them, pick them out, and I'd turn, and my blades will just chop off the top of their helicopter.
Sounds that could be a game on its own.
That could be a game on its own.
With all the game modes that they make, yeah, it could be. Honestly.
Yeah.
But this whole reveal as a whole, like this generation from what we've seen from this reveal specifically, if it continues to go like this, like do you guys feel that it's like finally the horror games are about to be focused on?
Dude, I am so glad that they're actually, putting more effort into the horror games. Like we had some good horror games over the last decade, but like
We haven't had
especially
really any good ones on console though. All of the good ones come from PC.
Yeah, you're right.
And now that it's like, hey, the technology's out there for the developers to do what they want. Oh, okay, we're gonna be able to make it on console. And man, I really hope that they continue that trend because it seemed like we had a lot of horror games.
I'm so excited for them.
And we get more. We get the first party games in July. And 1 second. You there, Mason?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Yeah, we get our reveal in July. Sorry about that pause, everyone. And then I just wanted to bring up one point before we do our little outro that we are getting. It was announced today. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 is being remastered.
Yes.
I am so pumped. It's not underground, but it's at least a start. And it's being remastered by the one and only Vicarious Visions, which, if you don't know them, they remastered the Crash Bandicoot trilogy, and it was gorgeous and amazing. And I am so excited.
They have from the crowd here. I just hope
Sorry,
they don't.
Xotic.
I was like, they have a lot of expectations from the crowd.
Yeah, they do. They have a lot to meet, but they did with Crash, and they excelled those expectations.
That's true. That's true.
I truly see them doing this game justice because, like, I didn't expect anything from Crash. I really didn't. But when it came out, this company, like Vicarious Visions, is good at what they do, and I am super excited.
Ever came to playing Crash Bandicoot was Uncharted 4.
I forgot that was in there. That was great. That made my heart so happy. But I believe Mason's about to have to go here soon. So, Xotic, you want to wrap up a little bit?
Sure. Well, Mason, thank you so much for joining us today on this game talk. It was super fun having you.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun.
Really fun
also, Mason, if there's anything you want to plug, go ahead and plug in anything you want here. Social media.
I'm gonna plug my YouTube channel. Go on YouTube, look me up, Mason the Gamer 538. No spaces, no caps. I make montages and videos on Darwin Project.
You heard it here, Mason the Gamer 538, right?
Yes, sir.
Mason the Gamer
And you
538.
can
Look on my YouTube.
you can find Xotic. You haven't made anything new, have you?
Absolutely not.
Okay, I'm gonna ask that every episode. And you can find me on Twitter at Mulzak1234, at Twitch at the Mulzak Gaming, and I believe that's all we've got for today. I really appreciate all the shares. Let me look real quick to see here. We are at, on the first episode, 60. It's an even number, 60
Just about 1
listeners.
hour.
Okay,
And
Mason,
I am.
before you go,
So, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Before you go, tell me what game out of all the games in the game reveal you're hyped for? Which game you're most hyped for? That better sentence.
Are you cut out?
Oh, there he goes.
Couldn't hear what you said.
Oh, he said, what game are you most hyped for that we have talked about?
What we've talked about?
Yes.
Honestly, Call of the Sea, the one that we just kind of glossed over. That game looked really fun to me. I would love to play that game. The story looked really interesting.
Yeah, I actually just genuinely forgot about it.
I did too, to be honest. I mean, it looks interesting, but I'll have to see more from it. But yes, we are on the first episode.
That type of game appeals to me. Best appeal to you guys.
Yeah, definitely. 60 listens. I appreciate all the shares. Xotic, anything else you want to add? And then I guess we're going to end it here because I know Mason needs to go. I'm trying to wrap it up for him.
Nope. I'm good here.
Okay. Well, Mason, we appreciated having you. It was a really fun talk.
Honestly.
Appreciate you having me on.
And we will see you guys next week. We're trying to do a Tuesday every Tuesday. So
I cannot hear either of you.
It's okay.
Thank you for stopping by the Player Base Podcast. How's that?
Oh, yeah, that's good. That's how it's ending.